less than 24 hours away before kickoff for tomorrow night's game against Alcorn State versus North Carolina Central University. Now, I know there's a lot of you out there already picking who you got to come out victorious tomorrow evening. So I'm going to tell you right now, Coach going to give you his keys to this game. And I hope by chance you use these same keys that I'm giving you right now for when you make that pick. If not, boy, ooh, I feel bad for you, because you got to understand one thing. There's been a lot of movement going around within these programs. You got players that have left the program. You got players that come into the program. You got the next man out there and doing the job and not get caught up in the bright lights of this game tomorrow night. So, guys, strap on in. Y'all know what time it is, because your favorite coach is back at it again, 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and make sure you tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes over here. And for all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you haven't done so already, make sure y'all hit that notification bell, like these videos, comment on these videos, share these videos, tap in a friend or two and tell them to come on in. And also, guys, I got 76% of you guys out there that are watching these videos that have not subscribed yet. Come on, guys. What's the hold up? Coach trying to bring you this content, baby. I got some things on deck that I want to do for you. So I need you to come on in this thing. Tap on in with me, because we vibing, guys. We vibing. Let's do this thing. You feel me? So Coach going to go ahead and tap on in. But one last thing I want to tell you. Make sure you follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, y'all see I'm already activated. I'm tapped in. We're just going to get straight to the brass tacks of this thing, so we can just go ahead and bust it on out and keep moving. Y'all already know tomorrow night we're going to see these two teams play. Alcorn State versus North Carolina Central. And the thing is, many are wondering how this game is going to turn out. Now, we got Coach Fred McNair, who is the four-time East Division SWAC champion. And not to mention, you got Alcorn State University. They are the two-time back-to-back SWAC champions. Now, they had a 9-4 record back in 2019. And not to mention, they did lose a few pieces on that team that played with them on that run of 4 straight SWAC East Division championships. They're now over in the West, so we're going to sit back and wait and see how everything turns out with the Alcorn State Braves. We got head coach Trey Oliver from North Carolina Central, who had a 4-8 record in 2019. Now, coach is going to give you the keys to the breakdown of who's going to come out victorious in this game. Now, the first key is going to be offense and defense points allowed during the 2019 season. Now, the Eagles allowed 27.3 points per game while scoring an average of 17.5 points per game. The Braves, on the other hand, they allowed 23.0 points per game while averaging 33.6 points per game for the season. Takeaways. Both of these teams are somewhat stingy with the ball, but one team is a little more stingier than the other. Now, the Eagles, on the other hand, they had 20-plus turnovers in 2019, with 14 of them being interceptions. The Braves, we already know, they are ball hawks out there. They had over 40 turnovers during the 2019 season, and 23 of them were interceptions. Understand one thing. Each of these teams are more than capable of getting a turnover for their program. So that's something that we need to watch out as well. We got to make sure that these teams are not just turning the ball over, because guess what? Turning the ball over can be costly, especially if you're backed up on your end of the field. It could be disastrous for the team that night. So we got to make sure we keep an eye on that as well. Defense. The Eagles' defensive line remains intact. Now, with their leader, Chuck Manning, leading the way. The defensive backs are a little inexperienced, but they can get the job done if they pay close attention to their assignments and not get too caught up in the hype of the game. One thing for sure, the Eagles defense must make sure they keep Nico Duffy in check, who rushed for 838 yards, 6 touchdowns in 2019. Now, they got to make sure Duffy don't get those big chunks, and those running lanes are opened up wide for him, as well as Felix Harper to just take off when the pocket collapses. They got to make sure that everyone is staying disciplined coming up the field. Don't over pursue. Make sure they just do their job and stick to the plan. The Braves receiving corps is young, but they're experienced, with Juan Anthony Jr., Tim McNair, Akeem McNair, who is more than capable of getting loose out there on the field and doing their fair share to make sure Triggerman Harper is able to get them the ball. Now, Harper's experienced receiver is none other than Charles Pringle. He was the lead receiver in 2019 with 828 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Eagles can't allow Felix Harper to get loose and beat him with his feet. Now, what they must do is make sure they push everything back inside. The defensive lineman got to make sure, like I said before, stay in their lanes, push everything back inside to where all the help is going to be. If they mess around and allow Triggerman to get those lanes on the outside, like in between the tackles and the tight ends or the tackles and the guards, it's going to be a long night, especially if everybody's already sunk inside and the lineman is already blocking them up and down the field, trying to keep them from getting to the quarterback. Now, the Braves did lose their safety on defense, Quinterio Cole, this spring. But remember one thing, the Braves defensive backs, their core defensive backs are still there, and they are extremely stingy with the ball. So I'm going to say right now, Richard must make sure he uses all of his tools. He got to make sure he understands when it's time for him to pull that ball down and take off, or hit the running back, releasing out the backfield, on a dink and dump and get as many yards as they possibly can. If you're going to throw the ball, make sure you're throwing that ball on time or slightly early for your receivers to come out their breaks and catch the ball. If you late with that ball, guess what? Alcorn State is going to take that ball the other way. I'm just going to put it to you like that. Alcorn State is going to take that ball the other way, and it's going to be a long daggone day. Braves lost safety Quinterio Cole this spring, but the core defensive backs still remain intact. Now, they will be going up against a veteran group of receivers for the Eagles, which consists of E.J. Hicks, Deshaun Stevens, and Ryan McDaniels, who combined for an average per catch of 12 yards. Braves defensive line must make sure, like I said before, they got to make sure that they stay disciplined. They push everything back inside. Don't open up those running lanes that will allow the 7th-ranked all-time rusher, Isaiah Totten, to get loose and get out there and start getting moving. If he can keep the change close, if he can keep the down and distance close, like 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 5 or, 3rd and 1, it's going to be a long day out there for the Braves defense. So they got to make sure that they check in. Everyone do their job accordingly. Don't step outside of the norm. Just do what you need to do. Now, on offense, Davius Richard, quarterback for the Eagles. Now, this young man threw for 2,020 yards as a true freshman in 2019 for 7 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Now, Richard would need to be smart with the ball, like I stated before. He cannot allow himself to get caught up in the game and get lax back there in the pocket where he's misreading what he's seeing out there on the field, or he's taking too late to deliver the ball. If he's late delivering that ball, I promise you that ball is going to go the other way, and the Braves are going to be dancing in the end zone. So he must be familiar with everything that's going on around him. The offensive line got to make sure that they give him a clean pocket. The offensive line that he's playing behind, this group is a group that they put together more so. I did some checking to see how many guys they had coming back. They got some young guys in there sprinkled in with some of the veteran guys as well. But a lot of those guys didn't have much playing time during the 2019 season. So with them being off 2020 and now just not getting started and didn't have much playing time in 2019, some things going to look a little shaky. So that's why I said we got to look at the first couple of series to see how everything, moves, as far as how everything moves with these offenses, to get a real picture of what we can really expect in this game. Now, Felix Triggerman Harper, on the other hand, Felix Triggerman Harper threw for 33 touchdowns in 2019. Now, he's definitely working with 3 new offensive linemen. His center and one of the tackles are 2 that remain from the group of linemen that he had back in 2019. However, he did get some new guys in that played in other programs, actually played in some community college programs that are more than capable of stepping in and doing the job that's needed or that's required of them to do, to make sure they keep Harper clean, allowing him to do all of the things that he want to do in the pocket. The only thing now is Harper's going to have to trust his receivers when he's throwing them the ball. He has Juan Anthony, he has Tim McNair, and he has Akeem McNair, along with Charles Pringle. So he's good. Like I said, he's got to get out there and trust those receivers. We already know that Eagles defense is going to probably zone Pringle, making sure that Harper goes to one of the other receivers out there on the field and not throw the ball to him all day long. So again, like I said, Harper's going to have to get comfortable with throwing the ball to those other receivers and just trust them as far as them catching the ball, making a play, and doing what they need to do to continue to keep moving those chains. Now, like I said, the game's going to start off slow, and they're going to fill one another out to see exactly what's going on. Once they get lathered up, I say in the second series of the game for each team, we're going to find out exactly how things are going to turn out. If you haven't seen it already, I posted a tweet from the Atlanta Aquarium where they had the Seals pick which team was going to win the game. And guess who they picked? They picked North Carolina Central University to win the game tomorrow night. Well, now, here comes the time where coaches got to make his prediction. Like I said, I keep hearing this phrase over and over in my head, and it's just keep going over and over in my head. And I'm just like, okay, the phrase goes, we're going to start in the A, we're going to end in the A. And I'm picking Alcorn State University to win 34-20 over North Carolina Central. Offensive, defensive line is going to be key. We got to see what's going to happen with that. Whoever wins the battle up front in the trenches, that's going to tell the tale as far as how far this game is going to go. So, guys, like I said, I'll be there at the game tomorrow. If you see me, you want to say what's up, hey, we can take a picture. We can sit back, kick it, and have a good time, guys. But like I said, until next time, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell. Like these videos, comment on these videos, and share these videos. And remember, guys, be the one and lead.